My name is Samantha Blackwolder. In May of 2004, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Diabetes is incurable and requires multiple shots each day in order to maintain. But modern technology has made it incredibly easy to control through the use of insulin pumps. 6 months after my diagnosis, I was able to receive an insulin pump and begin therapy. For the past 15 years, I have been required to change my insulin set once every 3 days in order to maintain my health. In this video, I will be showing you how to change an insulin set for the Tandem T-Slim insulin pump. Before beginning this process, it is imperative that you wash your hands and keep everything in a sterile environment. In order to change your set, you will need 2 alcohol swabs, a vial of insulin, a syringe, a needle cap, a cartridge, and an insulin set. First, you will remove both the syringe and the needle cap from their sterile packaging. Place the needle cap on top of the syringe and screw clockwise to connect the two. Leave the cap on the needle for now. Next, you will need to sterilize the insulin vial to make sure no bacteria enters the syringe. Use one of the alcohol swabs to clean off the top of the vial. Throw away the alcohol swab after use. Next, you will pick up the syringe. Pull back on the plunger to fill the syringe with air and the equivalent amount of desired insulin. So for example, if you want 200 milliliters of insulin in the end, you will need to fill the syringe with 200 milliliters of air right now. Once the syringe is full of air, you're going to insert it into the top of the vial and push all of the air into the vial. This will neutralize the pressure inside the bottle so that when we remove the liquid, there's no gap in the pressure and it'll all come out easily. Once the air has been inserted, turn the bottle upside down and slowly draw out the plunger until you have your desired amount of insulin. Be careful not to pull too quickly or you will have a lot of air bubbles. It is important to make sure that you remove all of the air from the syringe, for this medicine will eventually go into your body, and air bubbles in the human body, as we all know, can end up turning deadly. This is the reason why you hold the vial upside down when you're pulling out the liquid, for it keeps the air away from the needle and all of the liquid close to where you're pulling it out from. Once the syringe is full of insulin, you're going to set it aside in a sterile environment. Now we're going to pick up the cartridge. In these next few slides, I will walk you through the steps of filling the cartridge with insulin, for this is eventually what will go into the pump. Pick up the cartridge and remove it from its wrapping. Hold it in one hand and pick up your full syringe in the other. In my opinion, it is easiest to hold the syringe in your dominant hand and the cartridge in your non-dominant hand. You then are going to place the needle into the white circle on the top of the cartridge. The circle is small, but it is rubbery, and the needle should slide in easily. Next, while holding tightly onto both the syringe and the cartridge, you're going to pull back on the syringe while keeping it inserted into the cartridge. This will remove any air from inside the cartridge, for as we said before, air in a human body can be deadly. Once you have removed all the air, push all the insulin into the cartridge. You are now done with the needle and the syringe. Place the cap on the needle and discard according to medical supplies disposal policies. Place the cartridge to the side and pick up your insulin pump. Unlock the insulin pump and open the load menu. Click the change cartridge function and push yes in order to stop the flow of insulin during the change process. You do not want your pump trying to deliver insulin while it is disconnected from your body. When prompted to install a new cartridge, insert your newly filled cartridge into the back of the pump. There's a slight groove on the pump that fits in a slight hole on the cartridge. When it's fully inserted, you should hear a small click. Once you have done this, return to your pump screen. In the upper right-hand corner, there is a small lock button. Click the lock button to unlock the screen and continue to the next step. Place the pump with the newly installed cartridge to this side. Pick up the insulin set. You're going to remove the plastic wrapping by pulling down on the red strip. The rest of the plastic should fall away. Then you're going to remove the paper covering on the bottom. On the insulin set, there should be 2 small circular indents on opposite sides. Squeeze these 2 indents in order to remove the top covering of the set. Unwrap the tubing and use the connector to attach the tubing to the cartridge, which is already installed in the pump. Turn the tubing connector counterclockwise in order to attach. When it is fully attached, you should not be able to turn it any further. Return to the pump screen. When prompted, click the Next button. This will allow you to fill the tubing with insulin again so that no air will enter the human body when you deliver insulin, for the tubing currently is full of air and we want it to be full of insulin. Once you've made sure that the connection between the tubing and the cartridge is secure, click Start on the fill tubing screen. During this process, you want to make sure that the insulin set is facing the ground and that the tubing is facing the ceiling. This is going to ensure that all of the air is being pushed out of the cartridge and through the tubing. Once you see a drop of insulin emerge from the insulin set itself, push the stop button on the pump. At this point, your insulin pump is ready to work, but you have to insert the set into your body. If you run into an unexpected error message along the way, there are a few ways to troubleshoot. I would suggest either restarting the process or calling Tandem Customer Support at 877-801-6901. Thank you.